Welcome, swaggering seafarers and capricious creators, to Tales from Terra. We are the first Terra Mahia actual play, and this is our 0 session numero dos, or 3, depending on which ones I put in which order. But my name is Raul Alejandro Gonzalez Enriquez, but you can call me Ali. On the internet, I am Lycus D. Stratus, because I'm a nerd. And this campaign is Monarchs and Murderers. It is he hymns for me, if anyone is interested. This campaign, just a couple of content warnings for this session and future sessions. It's gonna get weird, guys. It's gonna get kind of fucked up. It's a murder mystery, and there's monarchies and political systems. Things are gonna get gross in a weird way, and then gross in a way that's too real, probably. But it's all right, because we're going to crash that system and burn it to the ground and rebuild. Catharsis is coming. But yes, that is me. That is the campaign we're going to be doing. There's going to be gore, death, systemic abuse, but not like racism. Just, capitalism. America. But that's all I've got. So what about we say hello to our almost heroes, our sort of heroes.
We get there.
Hannah, would you like to introduce your character and yourself?
Sure. My name is Hannah. I am playing Max, or Maxine if you're really upset with her. My pronouns are she, her. Max's pronouns are she, her. And Max is a Venara human hybrid who is very interested in mechanics and technological puzzles, and she also likes bird watching.
Birds.
Just a little thing she likes.
All right. What about you, David?
Yes, my name is David. I go by Zeno Kami on most places in the internet. I'm probably the person that was teabagging you in Overwatch, and I'm sorry about it. I'm not really that sorry about it. I will be playing, right? It happens, man. We've all been there. I'm going to be playing the character Shin. Shin is a human who has seen some shit, done some shit, had some shit done to him, and now he is less human, but human adjacent. He does still go by he, him pronouns, as do I. He spends a lot of his time not amounting to up to much, and mostly getting taken care of by his nephew Bison. When he's not, in a drug-induced stupor staring at a bonsai tree for 8 hours. Which was probably his plan this afternoon until whatever happens in the session happens in the session.
We will find out, won't we?
What is that bonsai tree going to do next?
Well, I guess, I said a small content warning at the beginning, but I'm probably just going to wait until we finish, re-listen to this, and decide what content warnings to put in the description.
We'll see what content comes up.
Drug use needs to be in the description.
Yeah, that'll be
all right.
Put that forefront.
Why don't we get into the show?
Let's do it.
So, the shot opens up on the city of Ascension's Keep. It is a city-state, a massive metropolis with the architectural sensibilities of a place like Tokyo in Japan. Very close, very neon, very much making use of as much space as possible. But it has the climate of a Caribbean island, and it has the weather of London. It is a stormy, hot, strangely beautiful but intimidating location. And as the camera pans in, we see storm clouds on the horizon. We see them swirling about on this beautifully mundane and oppressive city. But the storm is not here yet. And there is a beacon of light shining down into the window of one Maxine, as she is stirring for the beginning of her day. So, why don't you tell me, Hannah, we were talking a little bit about you are sort of a fixture in your little, barrio, and we were talking about that. So you tell me what does your house look like? Do you live in a little studio apartment? Do you live with your grandma? What is your house like?
My home is more of a giant room.
Okay.
It's mostly workshop. There's like tables and just very odd contraptions, tons of grease cloths everywhere, and there's this mountain of just metal pieces that do not yet have a home but will someday. And it's extremely messy, like grease, beer spilled everywhere, like just not well kept at all. Like keeping house is not on the top of Max's to-do list. You go towards the back, and as you're kind of going through, so you go in the door. There's all these tables everywhere with different varieties of mechanical gadgets. There's a couple bigger pieces that are kind of like the height of a human, not humanoid, but just large mechanical contraptions. Every once in a while, there's like a zap of electricity that kind of like zzz in one corner of the room, zzz in the other corner of the room. And then towards the back of the room, one corner kind of looks like what a studio apartment looks like. There's like a bed, there's a small one burner stove, a little sink, just the absolute bare minimum basics. And on the other side, the corner of the back of the room, there are dozens of bird cages, kind of like stacked on top of each other and also hanging from the ceiling and also just tucked into weird corners everywhere. And there are all varieties of beautiful exotic birds in those cages.
Your
Yeah.
your home is an auditory nightmare.
Yep, my neighbors hate me. But they love me because I build batteries for them. So it's this relationship we have going.
Yes, you're a neighborhood fixture. You repair and you help and you do it out of the kindness of your heart, but also for a little bit of a scratch in your pocket.
Yes.
And everyone around definitely gives you your breath of space. They respect you. They appreciate you more than anything. And out of the windows of your house, or of your apartment, they hear squawking and hammering and electrical explosions and all sorts of nonsense. And there's a agreed upon. Well, that's Max. Keep walking.
Max's workshop. What are you gonna do? She builds our batteries. Whatever. So there is one bird that is not in a cage, and that is a small appears to have once been a raven, but now has kind of like a mechanical wing that was very obviously outfitted by Max herself, and a small like almost like a headpiece that covers one of the eyes that and is
a monocle.
Kind of, yeah. And as it turns to you, it like kind of zooms, like the little metal pieces swirl and zoom in, and it flashes different colors and stuff like that. And so that's
I like this bird.
Yeah, that's my bird. What did I name him? I didn't name him yet. You'll see what the name is. It'll just come up sometime.
Fair enough. So today is kind of a big day for you. So you've recently come back to town. Actually, it's been a few years since you left. You've come back on occasion, but this has probably been the longest stint that you've been gone. Over the past 4 years, you've been in college, and a little while after that, you took some time off to travel the world, see the ancestral home of the Vanara, and you're back. And this might be your genuine prodigal son return, prodigal daughter returns moment, as your neighborhood has you back, and you realize not much has changed. People are barely scraping by like always, but they're together. They're doing what they can to survive, and they're finding even better ways to do it. You're surprised that so many of the things that you fixed are still running. People have worked together to barely keep those functioning, knowing that you're coming back eventually and you're going to help them out. And it's impressive. You're impressed by how well everyone survived without you. But they are so ecstatic to have you back.
A couple of the birds I noticed didn't make it, which is rough. But birds are tough to take care of, and I understand it's not a big deal.
And for some reason, you gave the responsibility to like the 13-year-old in the building, and they said, "Yeah, I'll take care of it."
I love
and
birds.
They tried so hard, and by that I mean they showed up 3 or 4 times a week and put birds in there.
There's a couple of birds that are like up in the rafters.
Dude, hang on.
Hang on.
That sounds like a lot of times to be visiting those birds anyway, man. Those sound like responsible kids.
3 times a week?
I don't know. Do they?
How often do birds eat?
I
Right?
spoke with their parents and made sure that they were just kind of watching over them a little bit. It's fine.
Point is, I don't know how to take care of birds. I would definitely not be able to take care of one.
Whatever minimum amount of times a week I need to kill that bird. That's how often I show up.
Wait, I need to kill that bird, did you say?
Yes.
Yes. That is how often this child showed up.
I would never trust you with my birds.
That's fair.
But aside from it also being, your first week back, you've had a little bit of time to get reacquainted with everybody and to get set up. It is also the day of a big competition. Every once in a while within the city, they're in the university section, in the research section of the city, they have little competitions for local inventors to try and bring their most societally beneficial inventions to show. And anyone whose inventions are deemed extra exemplary or whatever else are usually given grants or given funding to continue the research, or even given jobs and careers. Some are just given a little, hey, take this money and shut the fuck up while we use your stuff money. And so it's that time of year, and you're trying your best. Now that you're back in town, you need a little extra scratch. You know that people around, they're gonna give you some money to help out, but it's not even a drop in the bucket compared to the kind of money you can make from winning one of these competitions. So that is what's on your plate today. You have a few tasks ahead of you before then. You have to meet your grandma, get some stuff set up at the bakery. For some reason, her Wi-Fi is down, her oven won't turn on, and just everything's gone to shit. And you're almost certain she forgot to press the power button, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, great.
So that's what you got on your plate. But what do you want to do first? Do you want to go see grandma? Do you want to try and stop by anyone's house and fix up any equipment, or do you want to tinker with your invention?
I would go straight to tinkering. I'd feed the birds, and then I'd go straight to tinkering and spend like literally 36 hours straight just fucking buzzing and accidentally electrocuting myself like 3 or 4 times, but I'm very used to that, so it's all good. I got I don't have hair. I was gonna say I got my hair tied back, but I decided to choose bald, so no hair.
No hair.
No hair, just overall.
You go to tie your hair back, then you
I
remember.
go like, oh wait, I shaved my head at college. I forgot.
What is the invention she's working on?
Ooh, okay.
For anyone who's not aware, I, as a DM, like to surprise my players with shit they have to make up on the spot. And this is one of those instances. Let's find out.
I think I'm building something that makes batteries last longer than they normally would. So batteries are sort of like my specialty, I guess. It's what I've tinkered with the most. And I'm sort of trying to build a device that when kept on your person makes any batteries in a certain vicinity last longer and have greater charge. Very practical.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Batteries in this world, for anyone who isn't up to date, they are little devices that store essentially MP, magic, mono, whatever you want to call it. It is stored inside of these batteries in order to produce not only electrical currents, but just pure raw energy that can be used to power incredible, massive, and draining equipment, even beyond the abilities of regular power cells in our world by far. and you're trying to create a way to lengthen the battery life of these devices. Uh, in this case, I assume that means being able to make them more efficient, allowing them to store more in them, or maybe making the transfer of whatever energy is stored in them to whatever is being used more efficient so that the energy lost is very minimal.
Yes to all of that.
Hell yeah. That is an amazing thing and something we need to work on in the real world because batteries are not great.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, and that's wonderful. It's been 4 hours. You've been awake since 3 in the morning. You didn't realize the sun came up. The and your grandma has called you 12 times in the past hour. So let's do a star wipe, a whatever obnoxious little scene transition we want as you realize what time it is, realize how many calls you've missed, and you run out the door to see your grandma. Uh, but the camera pans back after the scene wipe, is panning back around the city. It has started to rain at this point. It is gloomy, it is dreary, it is dark. The rain is falling, thunder and lightning are crashing as the camera slowly drudges into view of one Shin. He is currently asleep, not in a gutter, but in the rain on the steps of his apartment. He was so close. He almost made it home last night. But damn it, just short. And as the lightning flashes, uh, you hear something. Uh, you hear someone trying to wake you up. You hear, and I'm not good with voices. This is not going to go well. I'm very
No
intense.
worries. I'm not good at voices either, man. We're gonna suck together.
Shin, you fucking fool, wake up!
Wait. Who's that now?
Dear God, how do you have control of this pathetic body? Wake up, you fucking monster.
It's you. Okay.
As you're grumbling to yourself, your face, your cheek starts to get hot as your mechanical eye starts to glow brighter and brighter. You can tell that the AI inside of you is getting just so irate of getting pissed on by the rain.
I'm going to kind of. He's going to reach up and shut his eyes if that's going to do him any fucking good. And then he's going to sit up and look around. And you said he's outside in the rain?
Yes.
Oh, all right then. Up we go. If it'll keep you quiet, let's get you inside then.
So as you're going up the 12 flights of stairs to this tiny, shitty apartment,
I hate this place. I hate these fucking stairs.
the elevator has never once worked. And the one
Only
time it
I
did,
knew someone with some sort of mechanical know-how that could help me with this fucking elevator.
if only. The one time it ever worked, someone decided to try and use it to move a sofa, and shucks, it stopped working, and then people stopped using that elevator. So, shit happens. and but yes, you're making your way up. This is just the quintessential shifty apartment you don't want to live in, and you have a horrible hangover from whatever drugs and alcohol you consumed recently. People are slamming doors. People are hanging out in the corridors, smoking and doing whatever else with their friends, giving you shifty looks as you pass by, quieting down, keeping whatever they're doing as personal as possible. You finally make it home, and when you go inside, you find a tray on the ground inside the door. It has some ibuprofen. It has a glass of water. It has a note.
I kneel down. I swallow the ibuprofen. I ignore the glass of water. And I pick up the note and I look inside.
It says, "Drink the glass of water, you piece of shit."
I take the note and I put it in the glass of water and I make my way back to my room.
So, as you make your way back to your room, you find multiple notes, sticky notes, just pasted all over the place, trying to get your attention for various things. And they're small reminders. You have to go later today to. I wrote this down while you guys were, doing some dog business. I'm proud of this name.
Oh, why does that sound dirty, man?
Yeah, maybe we should clarify. We live together. We're letting our dogs out.
Yes. That's the dog business.
Also, rated R podcast.
Don't want to give the wrong idea.
100%. It's rated R, but not rated X. So.
That's true.
But it could be.
One of the notes. Yeah, let's turn this couple into a throuple and make some weird content. Let's get at it.
Oh yeah.
Get
weird.
So,
Throuple a word?
Yeah, it's a common used
It's
word.
a thing.
Really? I did not know. I guess
I
I'm
didn't
old.
know that either. Pretending.
I was a part of a couple there. That's fun. Same as a relationship, just more complicated. Anyways, as you're walking, as you're walking around your apartment, you avoid some of the notes, but you finally pick one up, and you assume that there's at least a dozen of this one note that says you have a job to take care of at Clary's Cavern Tavern. It's at the edge of town, built into an actual cavern that they just boarded up and put a door in front of. Wonderful space, and also where you've been getting most of your work lately. Since you were recently fired from the MSN, the Monster Security Network, you have had to try and find odd jobs here and there, taking, little safety patrols, helping people, move to whatever place they're moving to. Maybe a small family is moving to the country over, or they're going to visit some family, and they don't want to get a proper escort. Instead, they go to Clary's Cavern Tavern and pick up a real cheap helping hand. And in this case, that's you. You finished a couple of jobs last night, actually, before going off to do whatever it is Shin does in the safety of the night.
He doesn't remember.
Perfect.
It was that kind of night.
The note is a reminder to go to Clary's Cavern Tavern to pick up your payment and to see if there's any more jobs available for you. And it says that you have to do it before noon. Otherwise, she will not pay you in full.
He's going to continue to walk into his room. He's going to just take. The room is basically empty for all intents and purposes, except for one lone duffel bag that has, basically the same other hoodie. And as he kind of looks at the only thing in the center of the room will be a small bonsai tree. And he's got a big window that overlooks it, and he adjusts the shadow from the light as he walks forward, and he just kind of moves the curtain along just a wee bit so that the light could come down perfectly and shine upon the tree.
Yeah.
Once pleased with himself, he will make his way over and change into his good tracksuit.
His nicer tracksuit.
His nicer tracksuit. He's got to make an impression.
Right.
I'm going to briefly shake the pants of my previous tracksuit. Is any money that I would have made? Does it jingle back at me happily?
So money in this world comes in a digital format. Long ago, gold was the yes. Long ago, gold was the money of choice. But then people realized, oh, that's not going to work for a global system. This is not going to function. Money has no real value. Gold has no value. So why don't we just say these bits and bops are of value, and then we can keep track of everything. Okay. Yeah, that seems like a thing a global government would do.
How do I? Would I have like a digital wallet that I can check? Essentially, you can either store everything in like a digital account that you can just log into your phone, that sort of thing. But the more safety-minded,
they have these little gold cards. They're literally gold, like G old TM cards, where they are disconnected from the internet. They just have a few buttons and a screen to display the amount that you have stored in there. You can tap one gold card to another and transfer money that way. There's no there's no online connection, and they're the securest way to have money in this world. You have like 3 of them. 2 of them are empty. One of them has like 69 gold. I don't know.
Okay. And so I'm going to assume that I've probably spent a good bit of my money last night doing God knows what.
Yeah, how much money did you have before today? Right now you have 69. What do you have before?
He's not quite sure. He doesn't remember the exact number, but it definitely had at least 4 or 5 digits on it.
Yes. Let's say it was 420 at least.
Oh, okay. That I feel like he'd remember that. And sure enough, he does.
So yes, you had 420 gold, and today you woke up with 69 gold because numbers are important.
I'm okay. Got to make that back before the lad finds out. He's going to make his way back out of his room. As he walks, he's about to go out the door, turns back, picks up the cup, pulls out the note, and knocks the glass of water down, puts the cup back on the tray, and leaves.
Cool. I'm going to ask you a couple questions before we make your way through the day. Sure. What do you think? What does Shin think that his 7-year-old nephew is doing right now?
Honestly, Shin imagines that Bison's out doing responsible things like going to school or negotiating better jobs. And he's not quite sure, to be honest. He's never put that much thought in it. But I suppose that would be his initial assumption.
Okay. Then let's make our way to Clary's Cavern Tavern. The only thing that I prepared at all was the name. So you're making your way down. And I want you to roll perception for me.
First roll.
It's our first roll!
Okay,
Sound
so
effects.
perception.
Awareness. Sorry, perception is that a thing?
Awareness.
What's
Yeah.
perception?
I actually have a +3 in awareness. I actually took 3 in awareness.
Perfect. Of course you did.
And
Wait.
also,
So let's make sure everyone knows what that means.
Really aware.
Make sure that knows make sure you know what that means. So in Terra, the way that the system works is there's a base D10. That's what you roll every time. You have either tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 on a skill, and that tells you how many D4s you add to your D10. Since you have 3 in awareness,
Yep.
that means you add 3 D4s and a D10. And then you add whatever you roll to your stat number.
Somehow in your perpetually hungover / stoned persona, you are hyper aware of everything around you.
It's not me.
Let's see.
Oh, that's not too bad. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 5 is 11 plus you said awareness?
Yep, whatever your wait, you rolled, what did you roll just now?
I rolled on the D10, I rolled a 5, and on my D4s, I rolled a 3, a 2, and a 1 for 6.
Yes.
So 11.
Whatever stat number awareness is under, add that stat number to what you rolled.
Okay, I believe awareness is intuition, actually. Gotta hop back up a second.
So it's base score plus D10 plus however many D4s you add, right?
Yep, it's your
Okay.
base stat plus your dice.
This is
So just
not
add them
Dungeons and Dragons, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope, it's a game of my own design. Which
Yeah,
means
awareness is intuition, so plus 1, so 12 is my total.
12 is your total?
12 is my total.
All right. Despite having so many dice, you did not succeed by an overwhelming amount. This was an average roll. That means that the difficulty is a 10. That is the number you're trying to reach, which means you have 2 successes. So you did succeed. Great for you. What that means is, as a fist is barreling towards your face, your left arm launches out, comes around the back of your head and grabs it.
Oh.
And
Whoa.
as you look to your right, you see this massive, burly woman. You motherfucker! Where's my money?
Oh, Clarice.
Clarice, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm Donna. You bet me $700 last night, and you didn't pay me a fucking penny.
Donna. Yes, I'm sorry about that. You see, I got your money, rest assured. I just don't have it on me at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll something else. We're gonna need to figure out. You're gonna need to try and persuade this woman from trying to beat your ass and get your money.
Okay, hang on. Give me a moment here. So
Because,
I'm going to.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that, and then my left hand is going to kind of begin to grip her wrist tighter, and I'm going to say, Donna, like I'm trying to explain to you very calmly, I'm having a bit of a shite morning. I would suggest you kindly back off. And I'm going to kind of rotate her arm down and around and kind of push it back towards her. And I'm going to say, by the end of the day, I'll have your money. Now get out of my face.
I'm going to need you to roll, let's say, an intimidation or something along those lines.
Perfect, because intimidation, I actually do have +3 in.
All right.
For the tier 3.
3? You have 2 tier 3s? Did you do that right again?
Yes, I did.
All right, so you're going to roll intimidation, and I'm going to roll a mental fortitude check. I'm going to have, my difficulty is going to be hard, because weird robot man and his robot fist is squeezing me, and it's scary, but I do really want my money. And they're just rolling an average intimidation. So you just got to break a 10, and we'll see who breaks their number more. I have to break a 15. I'm making this character stats up as I go. So here we go.
This is not great, though.
Oh, I rolled a 10 on the die.
Oh, wait, no, that's duh. Hang on. That's right. I add my influence, right? Because it's an intimidation. So that's actually a 14. I'm fine.
14. All right. I'm going to say this lady is an average lady. Influence, not very high. She's probably a goon level, enforcer on the street kind of person. And in terms of mental acuity, she's not a bright lady. She's intimidating on occasion, but not, So just 2 and 2. So I'm gonna roll a d4, and she has a 2 stat for her stat. So if this d4 is 2 or less, you win for sure.
Okay.
If it hits 4, then we tie.
Okay.
That's a 2. You win, good sir.
Winner.
Get out of my face now. I'll find you when I've got your money.
She wiggles her hand free, and with her jean vest just pops the collar. Like, I'll be watching you.
Yeah, you do that.
Just scampers off.
I was about to make him polite, then I remembered I have a shit ton of intimidation. I don't need to be polite.
There's no reason to be nice. We can intimidate and scare the world away.
That's it's called a survival mechanism, and I'm very adept at it, as you can tell.
Of course.
Worked for you this time.
So now as that happens, she's running away essentially. The camera focuses on the back of Shin's head as he's walking away, and it starts to pan up and up and up into the sky, looking into the dark clouds, flying into it. Screen goes to black, and then a flash of light as Max opens the door to her grandma's house and is inundated with the light and smells and just all of the hoopaholiary of this little what was it, a flower shop?
It's a tea shop.
Tea shop. There is just the vivid aromas of all sorts of teas brewing at the same time. Teas that probably shouldn't exist. Your grandma is a little bit of a concoctress. He puts things together that no sensible person ever consumes, but she still makes them.
She has a little green room where she like grows her own.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Strains of tea.
Mm-hmm. And some of unique strains of tea.
Tea.
It's gotta help her. Gotta help her glaucoma or whatever.
She's not late. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
She does what she wants.
That's my kind of woman.
So
I burst through the door.
Yes, and she's busy just with her big pot or big cauldron, just brewing her brew.
Nana.
Oh dearie, come on out of here! I'm so happy you're here.
I just got back. Come here, bring it in, Nana.
So she goes to give you a hug, and she snaps her fingers, and you see that her stirrer just keeps stirring. Your grandma, as you recall, is actually one of the more magically impressive people in the city. She doesn't do a whole lot with that lately, but she's told you a couple of stories, in her intoxicated nights of when she was a young adventuress.
She's so cool.
But she kind of like does that grandma waddle where her spine's not exactly straight, and she's just kind of trying to straighten up as she walks on over to you. And she gives you a big hug.
I imagine her head's kind of like somewhere down here.
Oh,
she's very small.
Oh yeah, she's very tiny. Is she what is her ancestry? Because you are both of Veneran and human ancestry. What is she?
She is going to be the human side of things.
When she snapped her fingers and she was coming on over, you saw the gears and cogs that are seemingly naturally tattooed on her body glow and almost look like they're turning as magic takes control, and her cauldron continues to cook. Gives you a big hug and a gross wet kiss on your cheek as she pulls you down. He's like, I'm so happy you're here, dearie. So I need to fix my oven. It's not working. I've been using magic all day. I'm getting so tired, honey. I can't do magic all day anymore. I'm not young.
Nah. I got you. I brought my tools with me so I can fix whatever you need. Make me a list. Where do I start?
Okay, so let's start in the kitchen. The kitchen.
Priority, yes.
We gotta get the oven going. We gotta get the big burner going. We gotta get. Oh my god. Also, could you help me in upstairs? Upstairs. I lost the voice. Oh well. Upstairs. Upstairs. Nope, that's not right. The AC has just kapooted. If you could do anything about it, it is so hot up there, especially with all these burners going. I'm gonna sweat myself out of existence.
Nana, I got you. I open up my tools, I throw my goggles on, and I start with the oven, and I'm just gonna take out a Allen wrench. That's a tool, right?
That's a tool.
That's a tool.
I'm gonna start.
Just add a name and say
tooling.
wrench.
I'm gonna start tooling. Yep.
Is there anything you'd be willing to roll for me? There are a couple of things I could demand of you, but I believe you have a few lifestyle skills from your hobbies and your learnings across time.
Well, mechanical engineering is one of my lifestyle skills. Would this be like a tech use? I don't know. Yeah,
this would be a logic-based skill move. Mm-hmm. Let's say, what's our logic skills? What do we got here?
I got you. Logic skills, tech use, investigation, medicine, and security.
Yeah, let's not use tech use. Let's just go flat logic, your D10, and whatever lifestyle skills you can convince me are applicable.
Okay. Well, definitely mechanical engineering.
Definitely. That's 1d4.
Probably not bird watching or euchre.
No.
I mean, welding. I'm not really welding anything. I'm not going to be for welding. It's just mechanical engineering.
All right. This is gonna be. I'm just gonna say an easy roll. To be honest, you gotta break a 5. That's almost
I
automatic.
already broke a 5 with my logic score.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Let's see how fucking awesomely I fix this oven.
Yeah, show off then. Show off.
Flexing. Okay. It's 7, 11, 15 to fix the fucking oven.
You destroy this task so.
I feel like I make an improvement to it. Like I like make it a heat a little hotter so that if she wants a higher heat level, she can have that now.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. I think you take it, not only make it more, you might make it hotter and more powerful, but you add a little machinery to it. You add a little programming, a little power to it, because now she can program it to heat up and cool down at certain times. She doesn't even have to be there. You add a magnetic stirrer underneath, like in chem class, so she doesn't have to actually stand there and stir herself or use her magic, and just press a button, make it happen. And this all happens in the span of like a couple hours. Like she asked you to come in and fix, fix these little things. It's gonna take you 20 minutes. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna fix it. Mabel, don't eat my dice. No.
Kitty, no.
That's what you get for playing with tuna rolls, man.
Oh.
Nana, come here. I want to show you something. I made some improvements to your oven.
Oh dear, what is this? Oh my god.
No, it's easier than it looks, I promise. I made the buttons really big so that you could see them. You just press this and it'll go on autopilot and it'll brew you oolong real just to perfection. This one here, magnetic stirring device, turn it off with this button, turn it on with this button. Now you can have shit stirring without using your magic and go do other stuff.
Oh, dearie, thank you so much. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get to work right away. I got so many concoction ideas.
I bet you do, Nana. I bet you do.
As a thank you, take a little something special from me. And she hands you a 5-hour energy shot that she made herself.
Oh, Nana, you didn't have to do that. It's your special energy concoction.
I think there's some number. I think this is in the somewhere in the store section of the rule book, but I don't remember what the numbers were. So when you drink it, you can get 1d10 MP back.
Ooh, that's cool.
5-hour energy, baby.
You're the best, Nana. Love you.
Use it wisely, or don't. I don't care.
All right, I'll go take a look at your air conditioner.
I'm gonna say with that roll, you also you keep going. You run through all the tasks, and you don't just fix. You improve every step of the way. And that's your time with your Nana. But while you're fixing the air conditioner in her house, you see that on her 76-inch screen TV, Mama, she likes it big. She likes to be able to see every pixel.
Blame her.
And on the news, you see a little something pop up. You see a news flash regarding Lear Kahan.
Take off my working goggles so that I can see properly.
And it says that Lear Kahan, the brilliant inventor and creator of Cole, the news social media cross app that has taken the world by storm, has become the world's first trillionaire. This man has broken the stratosphere of money. And this is the man who sent you to college. He's the man who, when you were still in town, he was a wealthy man to begin with. He had a lot of inventions. He was a very skilled creator and inventor. He was pretty wealthy. And he saw one of your inventions, not even one that you were presenting to a competition, just one that you had done to help your grandma. It was, if I recall, little arthritic support gloves that had little tiny mechanical hands that popped out, and with barely a maneuver, the little mechanical hands that would pop out, little mechanical fingers, would do the task for her as they interpreted the mana that was flowing through her and interpreting the intention behind it. And he essentially bought the patent up for it from you by sending you to college. Even sent you traveling across the world for about a year or so. But in that time, he went from just being damn wealthy to the richest man on the planet. He's had a glow up.
Because of my glove?
No, as far as you can tell, it's mostly been the Cole app. The Cole app, C.O.A.L. Doesn't really stand for anything because that's what the cool hip people do, but it is a collaborative news app. It's TikTok, except the first video is an actual news anchor from his company reports on something happening in the world, and then from there people can essentially comment and link their own videos, noting on the news, adding to it, adding their eyewitness testimony, whatever they want, really, with very little moderation, a scary amount of minimal moderation, to be honest, of what gets posted. But they become these massive strings of like TikTok-like videos, like short, sometimes funny, sometimes dumb, sometimes straight up buffoonery conspiracy theories get added and become these long chains of news. And this has made him infinitely wealthy. As far as you can tell, that has nothing to do with your gloves. But
I mean, he didn't steal or buy my patent and then get rich on my gloves. Just want to make sure.
Right. As far as you can tell, no. But he definitely could. You definitely could have gotten way more money from him than what you got, because he clearly has.
Jeff Bezos, whatever.
Yes, stacks to drop.
So
careful, don't get us sued.
Please don't sue us.
Allegedly,
Jeff Bezos. Allegedly.
He is a bald man, so.
Oh, now I know exactly what I'm picturing on the screen.
Have I been in contact with my patron of sorts, or did he just fund my college and then we never talked?
He has not really talked to you. You've sent him messages. He's not really responded. His PR team has responded a couple times. But the news article says that he has become the richest man on earth, and yet somehow he has the down-to-earth attitude that still sends him back to these invention fairs to meet the up-and-coming inventors of the world and to help them on their way and maybe find the next great thing on the way. So you know he's going to be there.
I'm going to take out my phone and download the Cole app.
All right, it's on there. All sorts of news from like person in blah 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 town created the largest cookie ever made, and then right below that was like cookies contained cookie contaminated with salmonella. Eggs were not fully cooked.
I like to imagine that there is a moment where you download the app and it goes $1,000,001,000.
Yeah. Ding.
It's a live tracker of his.
It's a live feed of his bank account. Yeah.
He has like the platinum gold card, where it's just platinum like sheet that he puts his gold card in and protects it from being even.
Oh my God.
Dude, he prints money with his own face on it. He's that rich.
Exactly.
So if I'm done with the AC unit, I'm probably just gonna get lost in this app for a while.
Cool. Yeah, you see a few other things inside of the news. You see, a couple sad things. Some people got shot. There's some violence and whatnot in town. One of the caravans that came through recently had a pretty nasty spill, and some less than stable crystals and equipment used to make batteries spilled all over the grounds, and have been a difficulty to clean up. They're, again, not super stable, so just grabbing and going might send some of them to explode, considering the jostling they just received. Sort of things like that. There's also some good news. Kid in a nearby school You actually have seen him before. He's one of the kids in your neighborhood. He just got like noticed for being incredibly skilled athlete. You know, things that are a little hopeful, a little sad, a little the news.
I thought it was gonna be Bison. Whew.
No.
Okay.
Not yet, but that's what you see on the app.
Okay.
And lo and behold, it's about that time. You got to get your shit to the show.
Oh shit. Hey, Nana. I'm so glad I'm home. Thanks for giving me some stuff to fix. I knew you would have some little projects for me. I was counting on it. But I gotta go. I got my show coming up, so I'll see you tomorrow or something.
Oh, please, dear, stop by anytime. And remember, the best way to win is to make sure those motherfuckers don't win. So
yeah, I love you, Nana. Big hug.
I love you too, baby. Big old hugs. And Nana's nasty and feisty. She's a good lady.
Best.
So
right, get back out. Is it raining still?
Yeah, it's definitely raining.
My poncho on.
I like the idea of everything you do has a little bit of mechanism for no particular reason. So you press a little button on your poncho and like these little gears just kind of and pull your hood up.
Like a silicone hood.
All sorts of nonsense. Yeah, you can continue on your way. And so we talked about a little bit about what your item is, about what your invention is. It's some way to make batteries more efficient. Now let's work together and figure out, what does it look like? Is it just something you attach to a battery? Is it something that you carry on your person that you turn on and maybe it sends a signal to make the energy transfer more efficient somehow? What do you think?
I think it's more like a small thing that you would install in a battery, like a microchip.
Yeah, okay.
You install into it, and then it sort of like reroutes the energy that's flowing through the battery in a much more efficient way, and it lasts maybe like it's not nothing crazy. It's like 40% longer than it normally would, or something like that.
Okay. So let's do one more scene change. What sort of transition do you think we should have here?
This is like a
cheesy TV transition.
I think you just do like the old DC like shows where it just kind of goes like the screen just like starts spinning into the center and then comes into the next one.
And then it expands in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Perfect. And yes. So as you're heading down the road, you have your poncho up, you pull your phone out, you're looking at the Cole app still, you're scrolling through, and with the scroll of the screen, with the flick of the finger, the screen itself starts to spin off camera as David, as Shin's screen, his camera spins into frame, and it's spinning into frame because he's spinning. He walked in to the Cavern Tavern and was immediately knocked on his ass. So, turns out last night was a little bit more than you thought it was. This is a police officer, if you will. He is from the global government. He's not one of the MSN. He's not like one of the mercenaries. He's part of like the peacekeeping force. And he's a little feisty with you. I've been waiting for you all day, sir.
Whoa, officer! I swear to God, I didn't do shit. It wasn't me.
Oh, really? He pulls out his phone immediately. Then what the fuck do you say this is? And he, on the phone, you see a camera feed of you taking a piss on this man's foot outside of this bar.
Oops.
How do you know that's me? That could be anybody.
Okay. You have a glowing eye. Do you see this? You pissed on my foot, you delinquent.
All right. Keep it down now. I'll get you a drink. We'll call it even. You can piss on my foot. Fuck it. You can piss on her foot, and then we'll call it good. Okay.
You can tell that he's getting real irate, but he's a professional. He's trying to hold it back. Like he saw you and he flared with anger, like he pushed you over, and like your cybernetics didn't respond because it wasn't like a danger. It wasn't a lethal thing. It was clearly just bravado and a flare of anger because he, instead of attacking you again, pulls out a little slip and or a little tablet, writes something on the tablet with his little pen, presses a button, and a ticket comes out, and he gives you a ticket for indecent exposure and pissing on a cop.
Oh.
If you don't pay this within a week, you, sir, I will see you in court.
Sedate then. How much is the amount?
Let's say
I have a running tally of debt right
right
now.
That's probably pricey, right?
Yeah. I mean, you tell me.
I'm thinking real life is probably pricey. He's kind enough not to throw you in jail right now, so like, let's go $600. This is a big one. The money you had you almost had enough to pay it last night.
So you owe.
There's also a portion of money that I assume I would have owed Bison. I decided to call that at least 400. So I'm sitting at the current debt of about 1,400. And I've been here for about an hour.
Perfect.
I'm going for the record. I'm going to take the ticket and I'm going to say, it's a date then. And I'm going to tuck it in and step out of his way and gesture for him.
He salutes to you in some dumb fantasy way, maybe just taps himself in the head, I don't know.
I offer a brief counter tap.
I don't know, fantasy shows... fantasy and sci-fi movies
I like that.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Something easy to remember.
I feel like sci-fi movies and shows and fantasy stuff always have the dumbest salutes.
I mean, Marvel went with. Oh no, that wasn't.
That's dodgeball.
That wasn't Hydra.
That's Ben Stiller in fucking dodgeball.
Double fists. Hydra's just double Nazi.
Oh, whoops.
Like purple cobras.
I do love the idea of super Nazis just go.
The Red Skull.
Oh my god.
Fuck. All right.
Okay.
He salutes you and he gets the fuck out. And you see
thank
at
you
the
for
bar.
your service.
No, you're welcome. And he walks out. And you see at the bar just this beautiful, bubbly, 7 foot tall, half human, half Anzu woman. She is in this gorgeous sundress. She is the antithesis of the weather right now. She is the sun incarnate. She has hair like feathers, where some of it actually is feathers, and a smile that could rip your heart out. Because she does have sharp ass teeth, actually. Oh no, sorry. That's a different race. That's the Vanar.
Oh, okay.
But she does have a cute cat mouth and nose. Yeah. Because Vanara, or Anzu, damn it, I'm fucking up my own race, my own ancestry.
We get it.
It's all right.
Practice.
She's behind the bar, you said?
Huh?
She's behind the bar.
Yeah, she's doing the stock animation for any NPC, just scrubbing the glass. But she's like, this is a huge ass bar. There are tons of people here. And the bar itself, real long, just tender oak. Like it looks like they just took a tree, laid it on its side, cut off the top, like one edge of it, made it flat, and stabbed it into melded into the ground somehow. But it looks gorgeous. And the behind her is just racks and racks and racks, like 2 stories high of liquors. And people are asking her for stuff, and she's just using her skills as an Anzu to just leap her entire movement distance up into the air, grabbing the whatever bottle, flicking it down, and preparing some drinks.
I'm going to walk forward. I've still got my hood up, and I'm going to kind of push in between a few folk, kind of lean up on the bar. I've got my elbows on there, my hand in my chin. Do I know this bartender?
This is the titular Clary.
I'm going to say, and I've come here before for jobs, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to hold my hand out and I'm going to say, rye whiskey, if you don't mind, and point me in the direction of my potential employer.
You got it, sweetie. So, before you do that, Shin, my dear friend, old boy, old buddy, old pal.
Oh, not you too.
Oh, no. Don't worry. You know, I don't care about nothing. Everything.
I know it's quite a tab right now. I promise I'll get it by the end of the month for you.
And I believe it. Trust me, I've already been taking a little bit out of your pay to make sure that the bill's getting paid. But I'm getting you your money. You have rent to pay. You have a child to feed. But that is unfortunately what I need to talk to you about. So, sweetie, don't freak out. But last night, Bison showed up looking for you, and you weren't here, and it was 3 a.m, and Janice was here, and was I'm gonna go ahead and say pissed to all shit that you allowed a child out in the middle of the night to look for you, and she has him in the back actually. It's been taking care of him for the last 20 hours. Where have we been? Dear God. She wants you to pick him up, and I love my wife. She's a beautiful woman, but she might stab you. So she doesn't like when you don't treat your kids properly, and by that I mean you didn't take care of a child. I'm not mad. I understand. Everyone has things in their life. And she takes the whiskey that she was giving you and starts to drink some of it and push it back.
I'm going to hold it in my hand, what's left of it, if there's any. And I'm going to say, you've had him for now about 20 hours, you said?
20 hours, yes.
I have to imagine that he's basically got Janice wrapped around his wee little finger. That one's more capable than you give him credit for.
I believe it. Janice is a sucker for those kiddos.
Well, besides, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, and I don't think it's too... I think it's quite obvious for anybody that know us. You know, he's the parent. And I'm the child.
You can see that she 100% agrees with you, but not in a, this guy kind of way. In a, yep, you couldn't be more right. She hates it. But she's not going to say anything. Again, she's an understanding woman.
And Shin is entirely oblivious. At least his human side is. I don't know about his cybernetic side. That thing knows everything.
Shin, you fool.
All right, that's enough out of you. And I'm going to say that out loud. And then I'm going to say, not you, darling.
It better not be me, but you know, why don't you just go talk to Janice? She'll take care of both you and Bison and get you to your next employer. All right. And your voice in your head says to you, she's going to stab you, don't you know? And then he quiets down.
As I walk away, I'm going to just kind of like, unfortunately loudly whisper, your laugh sounds like a bunch of nails passing through a skunk.
You hear glass shatter behind you. You don't have to look or nothing, but you hear it.
I'm not going to look as he kind of continues to stumble his way forward, occasionally bumping up against folks and just kind of like, you know, if you've been drunk at a bar and, you know, like you think you're like smoothly walking through, but you're actually just kind of like brushing up against awkwardly against people.
Like
That's
in your
Shin
head, you're
right
like
now.
a sleek
In
little
in his
cat,
head,
just
he's
like
like,
moving
yeah,
between
he's
people.
like, yeah. And in real life, he's like shrugging people and they're giving him the dirty looks as he goes by.
100%.
Yeah.
I've never been that drunk before because
Oh.
I have a tolerance of a bull, and it's too expensive to get that drunk.
I don't know if that. I think that's. I want to say that's sad.
It
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna say
sad
that's
or
sad.
I
really
Fortunate.
cool.
yeah had to really my little barrel of whiskey had to drink that whole thing last family get together, if you will, friend get together, to get a little buzz going.
Is that the one we got you?
Yes, I filled that up with that and a little bit of rum and some whatnot. I made a little mixture and put it inside of. One moment.
Ooh. Flagon?
This barrel.
Ooh.
And then I was just sipping on it all night.
Oh,
Holy.
And then I got a little tips.
All right, so that's the secret.
I imagine
That's
this is if anybody. Yeah, well, Hannah, I know you have. But if you've ever watched The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the extended version, there's that little drinking contest between Gimli and
Legolas.
Legolas, and he goes like, "No, that's actually the Return of the King." There's that moment where he goes like, "I think I feel something."
He's like, I think
At the end of the
something.
competition, my fingers are tingly.
He's had
That's
like
about right.
30 ales.
Unfortunately, I have fatty liver disease, so drinking alcohol is no longer a thing I can do regularly.
Oh,
So once in a blue moon for me now.
my
Probably a
sympathies
good
right
thing, honestly.
That's probably a good thing.
We don't condone the
Abuse of alcoholism.
Yes, we do
Shin
not.
is not a role model, folks.
No,
Remember that.
neither am I. Neither am I, but that's for different reasons. Similar, actually, but different.
I am a role model. You can look up to me.
So Shin's going to
other
drunkenly.
motherfuckers.
Shin's going to stumble his way through the crowd, making his way back to where he is pretty sure Bison and Janet are waiting.
Indeed, they are. And Janice is this bubblegum, just princess of a woman. She is an Oni and a Oni Vanara mix. So just this very large, seemingly muscular, but mostly just the arms, to be honest. Probably her Vanara heritage. And these gorgeous ram-like horns. And just, like I said, the poofiest, most beautiful, like bubblegum pink gown. Like she's to the T's in a world that doesn't exist. And she's playing with Bison. They're playing some dumb board game, maybe Guess Who knows. They're just having a ball. And you see Bison look up at you, and his smile turns into kind of a stern as he sees you coming.
Morning, lad. Janice, always a pleasure.
So you heard her talking with him in her little bubblegum voice, and she turns to you, Shin, you bastard! And out of nowhere, like she's not wearing sleeves, but out of her sleeve, a knife comes out. How dare you leave this child to fend on his own?
Let's just say, Janice, it's been a long night. I imagine he's in no poor health.
Of course not. This child's a fucking genius. He's beat me at Guess Who 100 times.
I don't see the problem then.
The problem is, he shouldn't have to be a genius to survive. You're an adult man. Right, Bison? You shouldn't have to do anything except be a boy. But no, you have to take care of this fucking buffoon. And she just kind of stabs the knife into the stone wall of the cavern. This is sort of like the office space, but they didn't furnish the walls. They didn't turn them into like wood. They left it nice and cavernous. Just stabs it in there.
He stabs it into the stone?
Yes.
Shin's a little scared. He's slightly intimidated. I'm not gonna lie.
She's the enforcer of this cavern.
Yeah.
Of this cavern
Okay.
tavern.
I don't think Shin's gonna fuck with this one. All right, Janice. I understand I've upset you. Rest assured, Bison, I'm going to do my best to change going forward. Would that satisfy everyone here?
She visibly calms down, like her demeanor goes from like that sort of almost shaking hatred and rage to, all right, there's a child here, or I'm not gonna fight this man because I can't leave this child orphaned. Gotta calm down. It's okay. We're going to work it out. You're here, I'm here, he's here. We're gonna work this out, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on you, and we're gonna work it out. So Bison and I were talking, and we've only been able to give you some of the lower jobs because, God, how do I say this? And Bison pipes up, "You're a fucking idiot," but I'm not.
As he says that, I like to imagine there's a part of Shin that goes like, "Hey now." He's not gonna actually like fight him on it, but that's as far as he goes. He says it and he's like, "Hey now."
Shin, you are very strong. I respect your abilities. You're an incredible fighter, but you couldn't deduce that a barn door is a barn door, even if you walked through it. So, unfortunately, the more expensive, the more pricey jobs from what our dear Janice, and she's just looking at him like, oh, look at this cute little boy, being so adult.
Shin's like sitting on the ground, kind of like pouting. As Bison's like waggling his finger and explaining to him.
Yes. He wouldn't be so mean to you and say you're dumb if you hadn't just abandoned him for a whole day.
That's fair.
That checks out.
That checks out. So, but they require a little extra something. And I think that as long as you take the front, I can use some of my extra abilities. And he's just real shitty little kid sometimes. Because he's a very skilled magician. He's a very skilled mage. But it's gone to his head being, a 7-year-old prodigy.
Yes.
To follow you safely. Right, Janice? I'll be safe.
I'm going to stop you right there, Bison. We've talked about this. I'll admit, you handled yourself well, sure enough. Settling the cases, arranging all of the work. And Janice, that's obviously no disrespect to you and all, but I think we can agree, lad. You're not you're not going on a job with me.
No. That's the thing. I'm not going on any jobs. And he closes his eye and puts his thumb to it, and then slowly unravels his fingers a little bit, and an eye seems to manifest and appear right at the edge, sort of like a long telescope that you use during piracy. And then he squeezes and it pops out and it starts floating about. And he keeps his eyes closed. And he's like, with this little ability that I whipped up, I can follow you anywhere and no one will notice. And I can't even get hurt. And I still have my eye. And he opens his eye and it's just milky white, but he does have his eye.
I'm going to poke the floating eyeball.
It goos around your hand, sort of like a gelatinous nothingness, like air made liquid. And Bison doesn't hurt. He doesn't get hurt. He just kind of like thinks for a moment that your finger was inside of his eye because he could see it. Like, please don't poke it. That was so weird.
I'm going to chuckle to myself as I flick whatever non-existent goo is on my finger. Should have used the other hand.
He puts his finger back and it goes back in. And he's just like, okay, so I can follow you around. I can collect the clues. I can piece together anything, and we can solve some of these bigger, cooler cases. What do you think? Come on, Uncle Shin. And he's really trying to just sell it. So you can try to resist this. Do you want to do a mental fortitude check?
No, I think Shin's going to just sit for a moment and say, well, fine. Can you talk to me through that thing?
Through my power?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know how much you know. So there's 4 schools of magic, and he just tells you like elementary school stuff.
I'm going to, like, as he gets going, I'm going to just put my finger on his mouth and go, "That's a yes or no question, lad, please." I'm going to pull my hand back. Now, can you talk to me through that thing?
I can, but it costs extra. But I can hear. But I figured we have phones. We can text unless you're like somewhere without service or somewhere a little fortified. Maybe they have Wi-Fi. But I can hear everything.
We'll figure it out. If need be. Hopefully you won't need to talk to me very often. As you'll find out if you come along on these journeys, I'm probably better than you give me credit for. The job's fine. It's the time. It's the quiet times in between that I suck. I'm not very good at.
Right. All right. So they walk you through some of the possible cases and this and that and the other thing, and we're gonna do another transition. I'm gonna say that the transition this time, unless you think of something better, which you totally could, is just a small drop of water that just blip, blip from a stalagmite on the ceiling, just slowly dripping water, and the water drips quickly shift into water filling up one of your a water bottle or whatever at this facility that you are in as you're getting another refill. You know, it's stressful. You gotta hydrate.
Hydrated at these fairs, takes a lot.
There's a theme this episode, guys. Hydration.
Hydration.
Yeah,
both our characters have had to hydrate.
We do condone hydration.
100%.
That's something we're behind.
Turns out that's actually the main theme of Monarchs and Murderers is hydrate.
Hydration.
I'm gonna work it in. Don't worry.
So a little bottle.
So yeah, you're drinking your water, doing your business, and you're in this fancy auditorium. It's one of the universities nearby. There are members of the Purified Bone. There are members of the Serva Veritas. There's the guy himself, who you saw on the news, Lear Kahan, as he's making his way, checking out everyone's little inventions, and someone from your past comes up, and this is maybe kind of like they're not a friend, but like you might not hate them, but they're definitely like you've seen them at these things before, you've done these challenges before, and they've done a little better than you because they have more of like a business sense. Like you create to help people, they create to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call this person who I just made up Duncan.
Duncan.
It's
a perfect rival inventor name.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Again, everything I've said so far is just off the dome, and I've made everything up.
It's working.
I don't know where this is going.
So I walk up I see Duncan approaching, and I kind of have this look of like awe on my face. This is one of the bigger kind of fairs that I've ever been to. But then I see Duncan, and my face goes a little more stoic. Hello, Duncan.
Oh, I see you're back again. You participating in this little creators fair?
Of course I am. What's your invention?
Oh, my invention. It will knock everyone's socks off. And he produces from his bag this real ugly ass box. Like it's like a just slapdash piece together invention of nothingness. Like it looks ugly, but what it does is that it is a device that converts like runoff waste into cleaning solution. that they then sell to like dry cleaners and other professional cleaners, which is extremely lame and boring, but something that needs to be done and will make a lot of money. And this is a way that's real easy for them to get cheap materials because a lot of that, waste includes these chemicals that are already used, and they basically are just recycling it. And that's what this device does. And I told you that you had to invent something on the spot, and I hadn't actually come up with an invention, so I'm glad I came up with one.
That was really good. That's actually really cool. That's pretty cool, Duncan.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's gonna make me like thousands of dollars, maybe millions.
Probably will. I bet you're gonna be rich from this one. This is the big one, you know?
Yeah. Max, you've changed. What did you do while you were gone, while you were abroad?
I studied. I learned. I learned how to make things that I never thought I'd be capable of making. I'm doing a lot of work with batteries, actually. Well, come and visit my booth later, and I'll show you what I've made. I'm gonna go set up.
Okay. Yeah, set up your booth. How do you present this? How do you want to make this thing? You're doing a class project now. I'm so happy.
Okay, it's science fair time.
There's
I
just
have
potatoes.
the trifold cardboard with my hypothesis on one side. No. I think I have 3 different sized batteries. One for like a really small device, one for something a little bit larger, like a kitchen appliance or something, and then one that's larger and for like a larger, more complex weapon, maybe, or a vehicle, or something that just requires a lot more energy.
Right.
And then I have on a small, very simple circular metal tray, white ceramic tray. The little chip is sitting right there, and it's just tiny. And it's meant to, it's a very, very simple display. And the idea behind it is so that people will be curious and they'll ask me what it is. But really, there's just 3 batteries, and there's maybe a device that measures that shows battery life or something like that, or how powerful they are. And so my demonstration, if anyone wants to come to my booth, would be to show them what the chip is and how small it is and how compact and cool it is, and then measure the different battery lives with and without the chip, to show them.
Here's a little extra flair to add to it. I think the middle battery, because there's small, medium, and large size battery essentially. I think the medium one is a small, and no one knows, and that's going to be your big reveal.
That
you've empowering this much more massive device with such a little guy.
Yeah, I like that.
Man, I think Duncan does show up. Duncan gets a little glimpse of this. He has his co-worker, his partners or whatever with him, and they're just gaping and gawking about what this is. And I'm gonna have to do a little something with you. It's time for you to roll.
Let's do it. Am I rolling?
I'm gonna let you decide. Something perceptive, something awareness, investigation, whatever you feel best. I'm gonna roll against you.
I guess I'll say if it's something that I'm looking for, I will roll investigate. They're the same. Actually, no, I want to use investigate. I definitely want to use investigate.
Okay. I'm going to use a stealth.
Interesting.
All right.
15.
Fucking 15? All right.
Logic is
well-
kind of my strength.
Right. I'm gonna say this is a average difficulty, as most things in this world should be. I did roll a 7. Making this guy up on the spot, I'm gonna give him a 2 in most of the stats. He's just a regular person. He's not a adventurer. But
He's not a
he
main
is,
character.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't have. He doesn't have anime hair.
Exactly.
But he is a sneaky weaselly fuck. So I'm gonna say he's got a good stealth. I'm gonna give him 2d4s. I rolled a 7. There's also an average difficulty, so plus is 2, so he's currently at 9.
Okay.
He rolled a 15.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to roll 6 to match you, 7 to beat you, 2d4s. See what happens. 2 and 1.
See.
So you do notice this. What you can do about it, we'll find out.
Okay.
You see, as everyone from this group that came recently, you're doing your spiel, you're doing your whole gimmick. As he is kind of looking at everything, he reaches a little bit too far, and it doesn't look like he's touching anything too much. I think he just kind of the little test device that you were using, the middle one, he touches it, and you notice that in his palm he presses a little button, and nothing visible happens, but the whirring of this device in the center starts to quiet down a little bit.
The whirring of my device?
Yes, of whatever the display device that you're using as you're like, and this is actually running on a small battery. Whatever that device is. The whirring noise is dull.
Okay. Do I know this? This isn't Duncan. This isn't someone.
No. Duncan, he had like 2 or 3 partners who helped him build this thing, and they were all gawking, and it brought with them a couple other individuals who were just kind of peeping and interested. And this is like, have you guys ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh? Well,
I got
you. Weevil, the
Yeah, Weevil Underwood. Yeah.
Imagine like a little big glasses, buggy, bowl cut haired looking ass motherfucker.
Okay.
And just the lamest pocket protector clothing, but he has the facial features of a rat. He looks like a fucking rat, like a rat bug man. And not in like
unfortunately looking Venari.
No, he's not even like, he's just a human. He doesn't even have like any alterations or anything. He's not like magically looking this way. He's just ugly and lame.
Oh.
It's very unfortunate.
The kind of guy that's gonna throw away your Exodia cards.
Exactly that kind of person.
Hannah doesn't get that reference. It's okay.
I'm so sorry, Hannah.
It's all good. You guys have fun with it. So
next time you tell me what social media or what mass media thing you know, and I'll find a reference.
I'm trying to think of like something similar. Like I'm thinking like Chucky from Rugrats, or Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
Mandark.
Think of Mandark, but somehow uglier.
Mandark?
Mandork.
What's Mandork?
Mandork, Dexter's boyfriend, essentially.
Okay, let's move on. I'm not getting this, but I think I see your vision. So as soon as he pulls something, as soon as I see the device in his hand, that's when I clock him. And as soon as I notice that my device is now quieter and doesn't seem to be working properly, I look at him point blank and I say, "Hey, what you got there?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
The little
What are you
device.
talking about?
in your hand with the button? I saw you take something out. What is it?
And he, whips his hands up. I don't got nothing. See, nothing. What are you talking about? Well, he's gonna try to deceive. I guess I'm just gonna make a blanket influence roll to try and lie and bluff.
Okay.
I believe it's the skill name. That's a 1. No one believes this man. No one believes this man. And yeah.
So you like to ruin other people's stuff? Is that you get off on that? Is that what you do?
Look, lady, I don't know what we're talking about. I wasn't doing nothing. And you see a crowd starts gathering. They start, coming around, and they're starting to whisper and judge, like, what's going on? These guys are causing a scene. Like, what the hell?
I lean in a little closer to him. I want to say, look, I don't think you want this crowd on your bad side. So why don't you just fix whatever you did to my chip, and we'll be on a merry way, and we can all be happy.
And he starts sweating. He's like, I can't fix it. And he shows you his device, and it's this almost like not microscopic, but like micro targeting EMP blast. And he just fried the circuitry in your little device.
You motherfucker.
Look, I'm sorry.
Do you know how long that's gonna take to fix? You know how much it's gonna cost?
Look, I was just doing what someone needed to win, and I was just trying to help.
Who you work for? I'm gonna grab his collar and say, "Who you working for, kid?"
And he's just looking around, terrified. And roll. Let's go awareness. Roll awareness.
15. It's the number 15. Of the day for me.
What a roll. All right. So you see him look around, and you see that he notices Lear Catan. Catan? Is that his name? Fuck. Anyway, you see him notice Lear. And
Lear and I let go of his collar.
Yeah, he strolls up, and Lear is a human Oni, and he just has this single horn that kind of traces around his head.
Styling.
Cool.
And very elegant man, completely bald aside from, he doesn't have, that horn is not hair, so he is completely bald. And just in almost like a nouveau rich, elegant sort of way. What's going on here? And you see that the person you were holding with a 15, with 5 degrees of success, every point above the target is a degree of success. Anyways, you notice that the moment he saw Lear leering at him, this man shut down. He is going to wait to be taken to jail, to be escorted out, to be punished in whatever way. He is done talking.
Just completely submissive all of a sudden.
Yes. I'm sorry. I did it because I thought it'd be funny. I'm sorry.
You thought it'd be funny to ruin someone else's project?
Yes.
Do you know this man?
I've never seen such a weasel. I don't traffic in those groups. But I suppose some people, their only joy is belittling and ruining the lives of those better than them.
Can I judge intent? Roll judge intent to see if it seems like Lear is telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm a roll back at you though.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say what I'm rolling though. What my skill I'm rolling. If you roll a 15 again, I will cut you.
It's a 17 this time.
You motherfucker.
And you get cut.
And you no, didn't roll 15. I'm a man of my word. So, so you can tell that in this moment, Lear is going to look into your eyes. Despite being kind of pompous and kind of whatever, he is very demandingly charming. Like the kind of person who, when they talk to you, they hold your attention and your respect. And by giving you their attention, it almost is like this uplifting feeling, like you are being acknowledged by someone. And that's the look he gives you as he looks into your eyes. And with a 17, you know that he's lying to you when he says, I don't know why this happened. This sort of thing happens. I'm very sorry. I see that you came with an incredible invention. Maybe another time you could bring it by the office and I'll give it another look for you, seeing as you weren't able to present it to the public.
Okay, so she kind of feels this like betrayal, but also knows that this is like a much bigger fight than she can win in this moment right now. So she's not going to make a big deal out of it, but she's just going to say, yeah, I'd like that. I'm dealing with some technical difficulties right now, so I guess I better just get my stuff and get back to my shop and keep working. You know how it is.
Of course. Good luck. I'm sure one of my assistants will get in contact. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm just gonna start packing stuff up. And is little Weasley kid still around?
Okay.
No, he's being escorted out by some security guards now. Lear, once you was talking to you, kind of did a little like finger wag, like hit, and he's been escorted.
Ooh, boss.
I am going to try to follow them and try to casually bump into him as I'm walking out. And my objective here is to try to, like, the equivalent of what sleight of hand would be, to try to snag whatever device he has hidden up his sleeve.
Okay. Do that. I don't think it was a sleight of hand, but is there a sleight of hand?
No.
No.
There's a stealth. There's a...
Let's just go with stealth.
I think stealth is the one, yeah.
Yeah, stealth is the thing to do. I think originally in one of my original designs, I did have sleight of hand. I was like, that's just stealth, but with your hands. Fuck it, stealth.
Right. Okay.
What if I made an art form out of it? Can I use artisanship?
You could use a lifestyle skill.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Oh god.
That's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for. For very unique and special additions.
And it's a natural one for a total of 6.
You're going to jail too.
Here we go.
I accidentally cuffed myself. Oh shit.
How'd you even have a cuff? So he's currently being sort of monitored by these guards. They're not like on him. They've kind of just led him to the public hall and are told him to shoot him away. And they witness you bump into him and this whole whatever's going on. And they clock you, but they don't do anything. They're just acknowledging that you ran into this person who they just saw you have sort of like a verbal altercation with. So they're at attention.
I just sorry. My mistake. And I just put my head up and I try to go indiscreetly.
Okay.
I definitely don't want Duncan to see me because I don't want that little shit to have the satisfaction of watching me leave with a broken invention.
Fair. So you open up the door, and with a flash of lightning, we scene transition to Shin. You are currently doing just a quickie job in the middle. It's the middle of the night, and you are taking basically Bison's little eye for a test drive, doing a quickie job where it's just someone hired you to see excuse me, to see uh, if their competitor has been uh, putting something in their goods and products in the warehouse to ruin and short circuit their DVD players or whatever. Who fucking cares?
Corporate
DVD
espionage.
Yeah, and your job is to see if it's happening. And as far as you know, it might be happening tonight. So I need you to do count them, two rolls. One is an investigation. Bison will be rolling alongside you. We'll see who investigates better.
I got nothing on investigation, so
Bison actually is 3 tiers into investigation.
Oh.
Smarty pants.
Investigation is a logic skill, or what kind of skill?
It's a logic skill.
Yeah. All right, that's a 6.
Yeah. Okay.
A D5 plus 1.
So you're in these rafters. You are kind of jumping from these rafters, looking at all the cargo, trying to stay out of sight of the warehouse workers. You know, third shifters gonna third shift. There's not a whole lot that they're actually doing other than just moving box from one place to another. And you see Jack Diddley Shit Squat.
Just kind of climbing along and just kind of stopping and just kind of like boredly watching them.
Yeah. You actually do see 2 of the workers are just playing euchre on top of a crate that they're supposed to be stacking somewhere else. But Bison,
I'm gonna whisper to Bison. Well, can Bison see them as well?
If you notice, there's actually a little in your pocket.
I pull out my phone and I look at it. Is it Bison?
It is. Bison's calling.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm sure you didn't notice, but the third guy on the left, the orange shirt guy with the weird ramen shop symbol on his back. Yeah, every time that he opens up one of the boxes, he's putting inside of the box some sort of metal device. I don't know what it is, and I couldn't get a good enough view of it, but I'm almost certain based on, and you see the eye next to you transition into like a purple color. I'm almost certain that there is some sort of radiation coming off of it. It's possible that within a few minutes, it will ruin everything inside of that box. And yeah, he rolled a 17 like a boss.
Yeah.
Killing it.
So,
yes.
At this point, I would normally go down there, knock them all out, take the item from the box and bring it back. I think that sounds like a justifying plan.
No. Most of these guys are just workers. What are you doing? No. Definitely get that stuff out the box and maybe taking pictures of the employee or even, I mean, whatever. He's gonna get fired. He's gonna get reprimanded. Just save the materials and we're getting paid. Just get on home, buddy.
All right then. So I've just got to go down there and take that thing out of the box is what you're saying. I think I can manage that.
All they want is to know who is doing the bad, and I clocked his stuff. I recorded his features. I'll make sure to get a description now. As long as we can save the items, I think we're good.
Well, you sound like you've got the plan, boss. So
yeah, let's roll some stealth.
I'm going to kind of make my way along. Can I make my way there along the rafters that I'm in? Or do I
in that case, roll something acrobatic.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be. Hang on. I think I have No, sportsman isn't. I'm just going to go through my perks real quick. Make sure I'm not missing out on something here. Nope. Okay, I'm going to continue to roll forward then. So you want a D10. Oh, not great. Acrobatics is agility. Is a 10.
All right. I mean, 10 meets, it beats. You're good. It's not the most graceful, but you're agile. You're leaping, you're slinging, you're doing that Prince of Persia thing where you grab a bar and somehow land on top of it.
I'm going to whisper to Bison after I land, after doing like a couple of like little, after doing a loop, right? And I'm going to say, does that make you queasy at all? Assuming the eyeball's like stuck with me as I'm going through space. Is this just like one of those video games you play all the time?
Shin, how do you still not understand third-person perspective? I just saw you do some spinny doos. You're fine. I think he's tried to teach you multiple times how to play like Fortnite games and like all this stuff, and you're like, I don't understand.
It just, as he's like making his way through, he's just like whispering in his head. He says, "It just doesn't make sense. You've got to walk with one and then look with the other. It just doesn't. It's not intuitive at all. I completely find those things are going to rot your mind."
Especially when one finger doesn't want to listen to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fair. I just look around in circles.
God, I love the idea of the AI just being like a real petty bitch, and like whenever possible, just like, oh, drop that.
Oh, that'd be a dick move. So yeah, he's going to make his way across the rafters, find his way down, and then kind of stick to the shadows. He's just kind of got his hood up. He's going to kind of lean up against the wall very casually as he kind of slinks from shadow to shadow, just kind of keeping an eye out. Actually, no, he doesn't even need to keep an eye out. He's just going to let these are those moments where he's going to let the cyborg inside of him just not take control, but at least let him know if there's anything he should be aware of.
By sort of not letting your guard down, but like accepting those electrical impulses, allowing that to be a part of you, you almost immediately, when you know, letting that be more natural, you know that there's 3 guys to your right, there's 2 guys hanging out behind some boxes, there's some lady making out with like her boss in the corner, her supervisor or whatever, and yeah, you can just feel it. You know everything around you. It's like the electrons are speaking to you. You can see and you can feel an outline of everyone's presence.
So there's 3 guys to my right. Are they like around the corner?
Yeah, essentially, think of like a miniaturized city made of crates, like a city skyline style, back of a factory warehouse. And right now, you're just trying to get to this box. There's a couple that are around the corner, but there are guys just kind of slowly. I keep saying guys, women, whatever, you know, folk. Making their way around, working, taking boxes from one place to another, using the forky devices.
Do they all seem to have a general same sort of uniform or so?
Yeah, everyone is wearing sort of like the same hats, but otherwise the uniforms don't seem too wild, as long as you're wearing jeans or sturdy pants, closed-toed shoes, maybe some steel-toed shoes, and the hat designating this is the area I'm allowed to be in.
You know, you said that the couple on the side, they were just making out. Like they hadn't gone too far along or anything. Their clothes aren't off. As far as I know.
This is you can feel by the race of their hearts. This is a workplace romance that started recently, and they're like, we don't get a lot of time out of work, so it's a little kiss.
Are they behind some sort of door or something?
Yes. Imagine like like a cleaning room. They basically went behind the door, like, oh, we should probably you could help me with all this stuff, so to grab this stuff.
Hot.
And the box that I saw the one fellow messing with, where in relation to myself and the couple? Can I? Are they kind of along the way by chance?
I'm gonna say that if there are multiple rows, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
The wall that the maintenance or cleaning supply room is in the corner. What you're looking for. You came in from the far end, from the back far end. You made your way up, and you're need to make your way over to the left. So you're gonna have to pass this area. You can continue to go into the rafters, but there are, as you can see now, people still doing their jobs. So there are boxes being raised all the way up and put into places. And if you don't hurry, the box that you're looking for might get moved soon.
I'm going to then, I think I'm going to remain stealthy on the ground floor as I try to make my way over towards the box, sticking to the shadows as best I can, just kind of slinking by. If anyone gets too close, I'm going to just kind of stop and just take a moment to just like stay perfectly still, let them go by. And as soon as I think that they're clear enough, I'm going to slip back out and make my way over.
Okay. Okay, nice. Then let's make a stealth roll.
Ooh, that's better. That's a 13.
Ooh, that's not half bad. So you're definitely very stealthy. I'm gonna say that you make your way down because the box is not at the top of its layer anymore. It is now like the third box from the bottom. There's a box on top of it and on top of that. You don't need to open it from the top. You can make your way into it from the sides, as long as you get the device out. That's all that really matters. But as you're going through, the couple comes out, and I mean they're young, 20-somethings, mid 20-somethings, just doing
my age.
Yeah, mid 20s, doing the good work. Hey, we gotta work somewhere. This is a factory job. Who cares about it? But like, it gives us our bread.
Yeah.
And they look happy. They look like they have a good time, but like nothing too crazy.
Okay.
And you hear on the radio though, as they're walking by. Ken, can you hear me? It seems that one of our workers is clocked out. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what happened. You get a notification or anything that they let you know that they're heading out? They quit? Well, what's going on? What happened? And Ken and Judith are talking amongst themselves like, what the heck? What happened? Who was it? Oh my god! I bet it was Albert. That motherfucker. He doesn't even like to work here. I don't know why he was working at all. And they chirp back. Sorry, Mikey. Do you know who done clocked out? What happened? We heard nothing about it. Chirp back. Yeah, it's that new guy. I don't know. I don't remember his name. And I forgot her name already.
Judith.
Yeah.
Judith chimes in. Terrence? He just showed up. What? He's been here for like a week. Oh my gosh. How? Some people. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he just clocked out for a lunch. Like, you can't do that. And Ken's just like, sure. He's probably just clocking out for a lunch. Gonna go off campus. He knows we're not allowed to do that on third shift. This city and everything. But we'll see. We'll probably just give him a write-up. He hasn't done too much too bad lately, so we'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
This is why I can't do corporate jobs.
And then you just hear him just kind of go off. Coming to poker night? And they disappear. That's what you get for just a lovely little stealth roll.
So yeah, I'm going.
Go ahead.
I'm going to kind of just kind of note that I'm going to. So, am I at the crate now?
Yes.
I'll whisper to Bison. Seem to have some sort of neat little trick you can do with that eyeball of yours. Why don't you take a scan at the rest of these? See if there's any other crates I should be getting into. When I arrive at the crate, I'm going to try to open it stealthily. I'm going to crouch down and pull out the jute, the iron baton from my knee. I'm going to line it up and just kind of try to do my best to slide it. Maybe if there's any sort of, are these wooden crates?
Yeah. So these are like these wooden crates, but they have these layered slats that are meant to just kind of slide in and out to allow people to verify the content and slide back. You can use your, what did you call it again?
Just the baton. We'll see.
Yeah, you can use your baton to try and just wiggle some of that out of the way farther than it should. Dear God.
Earthquake! So yes, I'm going. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Cool. Let's roll something. Actually, let's roll either a poise, or you can make this a martial combat. And we're fighting the box. We're doing whatever. But the point is, you're trying to be delicate, but powerful.
I'd rather do martial. Actually, endurance isn't bad. Martial combat, though.
And you can use with martial combat, just with any other combats, you can choose from either of the two skills listed in it. So for martial, it is agility or strength.
Oh, yeah, I'll do martial combat then. So I still roll a d10, right?
Yep, I'm gonna say that this is hard because you're trying to be powerful but delicate. If it's just a punch, this would be an average. You're trying to do something.
Yeah.
So 15. You think you can hit it?
Yeah, we'll see. No. That's a 13.
So
I was 7 on strength.
Nice. Hey, that's what hard difficulty things are for.
Yeah, that's okay.
But maybe
So-
put butthole on my face.
Yeah.
No worries.
Cats are ruthless, rude individuals.
They just know what they
Oh,
want.
little cats.
So, where were we? Yes, you go in for the delicate, and then you just punch through.
I'm gonna say I was using the cyborg arm, and I think that motherfucker did it.
You hear a cool. Everybody quiets back down.
Alright, chilled. Oh, fuck. Immediately going to, first things first, see if I'm aware of anybody in nearby vicinity.
Yeah. roll
Or if
awareness
anybody
then.
reacts kind of towards it.
Yeah.
So it's awareness. Pretty good. Hang on. And 8 is a 15, and awareness is a. Awareness is intuition, which is a 1. 16 for awareness.
Jeez, you have a 1 in intuition, and you're rolling 16 in awareness.
Because I rolled 3d4s
Four.
for awareness.
Yeah. Wowzers. Oh man. Anyways,
I covered that base.
cover that. Yeah, you have a weakness, but you train that weakness, and you're fine.
Also, I just realized too, for my arachnid features, I cannot be surprised as well. So I'm like,
Yep. It is, your arachnid features are still your cybernetic enhancements, your cybernetic nervous system is still slightly controlled by your robot self, by your
Yeah.
cyborg half. So earlier when you got shoved to the ground, that was him going.
I imagine that's very much his within his wheelhouse. To be
Yeah, he will not take
finding
any
ways
damage though.
yeah.
But yes, you're doing an awareness, and Hannah, Do you have any other dice with you, or is it just the
Dice?
D10 and the? Yeah.
No, I've got all my dice. What do you need?
Roll a D20 for me.
A D20, you say?
Yeah, let's make a luck roll. See what happens.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. All right.
Sorry, man.
This is not going well.
So I'm going to say that with that, you hear Ken go, "Oh my God! Did you hear that? Something broke. I heard something." And you hear footsteps stomping. You
just the 2?
Just the 2 so far. But you do hear chirp chirp. They're kind of far away.
Okay.
But sounds like something happened.
Am I aware of how far they are? And if so, do I have enough time to reach inside this thing or to find the source of whatever's doing this business?
Your cybernetic faculties, your nervous system, what's the radius with which you have perfect awareness?
9 meters.
So they are outside of your range currently. So they're 9 meters away. At least 9 meters away. Okay. The second they break that, I'll let you know.
Cool. Quick dig around.
So you're
I'm looking through the box. Digging through the box, trying to see if I could find whatever was the source or whatever it is that one suspicious fellow put inside this crate.
All right. You find it right away. It is glowing, actually. So you pinpoint it pretty quickly, and make another logic check. Or I guess maybe intuition if you want. I don't know. Whatever. Do you have anything in like?
The same.
Do you have any points in like weaponry or knowing anything about?
Oh yeah, I have weapons history as a life skill.
Cool. Add that D4 down.
Okay. Oh, that's actually really nice. That's a 9 plus 4. That's a 13.
This is a plastic explosive.
Do I happen with the 13 to understand how long it might have left on its thing?
It doesn't have a timer on it. It looks as though maybe it has some sort of receiver, some sort of signal is going to be sent. You might have the time you might be able to disarm it. You might be able to do all sorts of things. Who knows? But you don't know when it'll go off. Hannah, roll another D20 for me.
Too much pressure.
Hannah knows when it's going to go off.
11.
All right, you've got time. You don't know how much, but you've got time.
I don't know how much, but I've got time. Okay, I'm going to assume that climbing up all these boxes and getting back into the rafters is going to take me a lot more time to get out of here, and I don't know how much longer I've got. I'm also not too interested in leaving this behind and possibly killing all of these workers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk towards the couple. I'm going to walk towards Ken and Judith. Try and making sure that there's no one else around when I finally am able to make contact with them. I'm going to just kind of hide in the shadows as they kind of come out. As long as no one else is around, I'm going to step forward and I'm going to say, all right, you two lovebirds, listen here. I've got the bomb in my hands, and if you don't do exactly what I tell you right now, things are going to get very bad very fast. And can I request intimidation on this, please?
Yeah, go ahead and intimidate away. A terrorist just appeared before them, as far as they understand. So I'm going to say it's an easy fucking intimidation.
Perfect. Now we're talking. Let's see, that's 9 plus 1 plus 5, 15.
Yeah, they shit their pants.
Oh, hang
You're
on,
a
that's
terrorist. You have a bomb.
That's a 21.
Oh.
Because if I had my influence, that's a 21.
You smell shit in their pants.
You smell actual shit. But yeah, no, they are horrified. You see their life flash before their eyes for a moment. They think they're going to die.
I see you grasp the gravity of the situation. So here's what you're going to do, Ken. And I don't know if he knows how I know his name, and because I don't even really know how I know his name, but I know his name, and I'm going to say, Ken, you're going to call onto your radio there, and you're going to say it was just a false alarm. It was a cat or something that got caught between a couple of boxes, and you managed to let it loose.
It's a bomb. I'm sorry. Can we evacuate? Can we get people to leave? I can't. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Please, I'm so sorry. We didn't see you. We didn't see.
That's a fair point. If you promise you didn't see me, because if you did, I'll have you know, I happen to know a little something about a couple of two people who might not want that knowledge to be made public.
He stones up a little bit. He's terrified. Don't get it twisted. He's terrified. But you see like a hint of bravery in the sense that, sir, please, I just want to keep everyone here safe.
That sounds like a fine plan to me. But as you understand, I also want to make sure that I get out of here. So what's going to happen now is your little girlfriend there, her and everybody else, they're allowed to walk out of here through the north exit. You and I, we're going out the back door.
Okay. And he picks up his walkie and says, Mikey, there's been a chemical spill.
Smile when you talk, it'll help.
There's been a chemical spill, and we need everyone to get out. There's nothing hazardous, just might be a little toxic. We're not sure. Someone will clean it up. Don't worry about it. Just get everyone out of here. And then the little silent alarm goes off. And everyone knows, oh, I gotta get out. Something dumb happened. And you see everyone start to slowly truck out. And he turns to his girlfriend and is just like, go. I'll see you soon.
And I'm going to say, and as we're kind of walking away, I'm going to kind of have my arm around Ken and I'm going to say, now, Judith, you understand, your boyfriend and I here, we're going to be spending a wee bit of quality time. You're not going to tell anyone exactly what you found here. After he comes home, I don't give two shites what you say. But until he comes home, you're going to keep your mouth quiet, aren't you?
With tears streaming down her face. Yes.
And I'm gonna let her go, I guess, and ask Ken, all right, is there another way out of here that not everybody's going to be going through?
Yes. The cargo doors, we're not allowed to go through them. They're just for the semis, but we can jump out of one. No problem. It's just a couple feet up.
Are these cargo doors pretty strong?
They're garage doors. This isn't exactly a high-end facility.
Okay. All right. Then let's you and me. How would you take me over to those cargo doors? Toot sweet, if you rather. And I'm also going to just kind of pause. And I'm going to just kind of hold back, and I'm going to say, and Ken, we're going to take the scenic route. I don't want anybody finding us. Am I clear?
Okay. Of course. Let's go. Yeah, he's he's very clearly terrified. Like, he is trying, he is scared, but there is I have something I need to do. I have to take care of this determination in his body. Hannah, roll another d20 for me.
You got it, boss. This one's a 16.
Okay. We're good.
Am I rolling for the bomb right now?
So,
oh, God. I'm stressed.
You approach these doors.
Shin's cool as a cucumber.
And this man just starts to plead. Sir, the door's right there. You can leave. Do whatever you need. Please just let me go. Please.
He led me over there. I can go out of there now?
Yeah, one of the doors is essentially open. It's like a crack like by this much. Yeah.
What's on the other side of that door? Is it like an open street? Is it?
It's a massive parking lot essentially.
Massive parking lot. Are there lots of people like in the parking lot or anything?
No, this is like where, this is the warehouse side, and on the other side of that would be where the workers park. This would be like where people would park to go to the main department store section of whatever this place is, and this is the warehouse section. So It's empty. It might be someone's loan car that they left there when they went to the airport and they don't want to have to pay. Okay. But yeah.
I'm going to make my way out through that door, and I'm going to, as we kind of get some distance, kind of examine the bomb again, just check that I have time, maybe kind of listen. There's no immediate rapid ticking or anything, is there?
Nope. It's just the flashing light that indicates something. It's connection, something in terms of It's active.
Pull out my phone. Maybe try to get Bison on loudspeaker real quick. All right, lad, you've had a chance to take a peek at this thing since I've been carrying it around, I hope. What do you think? Do I have time still? Or should I just try to dump this now in this parking lot?
So you see the eye flash through all of the colors. Red, purple, green. It's just switching
kind
back
of holding
and forth,
it up for him.
And
got my phone.
You can hear him screaming on his phone. Run!
Okay, I'm going to pitch this thing into the parking lot as hard as I can and start making my escape.
All right.
I'm going to aim for that car.
Aim for that lone car.
Does the license plate happen to have like K3N on it or anything?
Sure. Why?
Write it out.
Oh, come on.
Oh, jeez.
This
Ken's
poor
car.
man.
What a day.
Yeah. You know, he's a supervisor, so he parks in the place he's not supposed to because it's quicker to get inside.
And he's like dating a girl on the job when he's on the clock. I mean, this guy's not a hero, okay?
He just tried to save everyone's life.
He's
Like,
absolutely a hero.
I tried to save everyone's life. Just
He doesn't know
way.
that you're a terrorist.
To him, you're the
That's
problem
okay.
here.
And I'm going to throw this right towards Ken's car.
All right. I need you to
As
roll.
I do so, I would like to say, Bison, please record this as we go.
Oh no, he's always recording. He's watching
Perfect.
everything.
All right,
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always recording.
I'm gonna Tom Brady this thing.
Cool. You chuck it. Roll two things for me then. Roll, and let me do a quick roll. I'm not gonna put this on Hannah.
Please, no more.
All right. Roll two things for me. Roll a strength, a push, athletics, whatever strength-based thing you think constitutes chucking this motherfucker as far away as possible.
I feel like push is the one, man.
All right.
I think in terms of definition, I think that's the one.
That's the one. And then immediately after that, roll a hard dodge.
Oh, that's a 10 on athletics, on strength for push, and that's a +7, so 17.
Woo! All right, you chuck this. Roll, like I said, a hard dodge, but because of that throw, add an extra D4 advantage dice.
Okay. I also get a +1 on dodge from my cybernetic systems thing as well, just so you know.
So that's two advantage, two extra D4s.
Extra D4s?
Yep.
All right, so I need a D10, 2 D4s.
And you don't get
Okay,
anything from dodge itself?
I do, because it's agility,
right.
So I
Do you have
get
any points in dodge?
No, in dodge I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I was just asking.
6 is my agility. So let's see here. I have a 7 on the roll, 3. So that's 10 plus another 3 plus another 6, so 19 to dodge.
19 to dodge?
19 to dodge and like a 17 to throw this thing.
Nice. So the 17 to throw, what that did was give you a bonus dice to your dodge. This thing explodes, and it's huge, and it's a massive blast. And Hannah, roll an awareness check.
Well,
all right. You immediately clock what's going on. You see this huge explosion, and you look around, you take everything in, and you see you notice something flying through the air to the corner of your eye. You see the explosion. You realize Shin or someone is there in the corner of this parking lot that you're walking past in this horrible rain. You're just soaked as you're carrying your broken devices. It's the middle of the night, and this man
I was kind of like, before this happened, right before this happened, I'm like in the rain with my broken devices, just learning of this betrayal of this guy who I looked up to, definitely crying in the rain, very like sad girl moment.
Yes.
And then this thing just like snaps me out.
Exactly. And Shin, you don't take any physical damage. You're not hurt. but your arm, your cybernetic arm, you used it to chuck this thing as far away as you possibly could, and it was outstretched, and the explosion, something something happened to your arm. It is beat to shit. It is sparking. It is leaking. You didn't even know there was liquid in this thing.
A very Edward Elric versus Scar kind of moment.
Exactly. But you survived. You not just survived. You did a great job. You are surprisingly okay. You can stand up. You could even try to walk away, but your arm is busted to pieces.
As I'm kind of lamenting over my arm, I'm going to look over. How's Ken's car looking?
Oh, Ken's car is just beaten and battered. One of the things that hit you was actually a piece of his car.
I'm gonna say, "Eat shit, Ken," and I'm gonna turn around and start walking down the road, going at like a trot at first to try to make some distance from here.
Perfect. So, your
cradling my fucked up arm.
Your tracksuit was also like ripped apart in the blast that destroyed your mechanical arm. So you look very anime, as like half your clothes are just like falling off of you.
Yes.
And you, Hannah, see this man who just possibly threw a bomb at this car, walking away. You think maybe injured. He's sparking, like his whatever prosthetic he has is freaking out. And in this rain that can't be safe. If you want to roll like an awareness to see how fucked up he is or how much you know about this item right away, you can. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's
sure.
Tabletop.
I will most definitely. I'll notice the
roll initiative.
Sparking.
Roll initiative.
EMP. I noticed the sparking, and anything that sparks with electricity is interesting to me. But something about you just seems odd in this scenario. So I'm gonna roll awareness, and it's an 11. It's 11.
Okay. So you take in the scene. You take in everything that's happened, and you realize that you hear now people are rushing out from behind you, and you see this person seems to have taken this bomb outside of this facility as everyone's rushing out, and possibly this man saved people. You don't know. But what you do know is that his arm, while it doesn't look like he was too badly injured, the machinery in his arm is more damaged than it appears. You see that inside all prosthetics, there's this system of tubes that convert a person's own blood into a pseudo power source to power the most basic abilities for emergencies. It allows them to integrate the arm and its nervous system into them. But most arms on a day-to-day to do anything beyond picking up a cup of water need batteries. They need some sort of power source. And it seems like this person, their power source is immense. And it was damaged in this explosion. And the essentially battery fluid is going back up the tubes that lead into his body. Within seconds, he might be poisoned lethally.
I run up to him immediately and I say, hey, your arm, it's all fucked up. You gotta let me help you.
It does that from time to time. Don't worry, lass.
No.
It's okay.
Listen to me. I open up my bag of tools and I say, you gotta let me do something about this. This rain is gonna fucking ruin everything. Just please. It's a beautiful arm. Please let me save it.
I appreciate your thoughtfulness, but this is neither the time nor place to be fixing arms.
Well then,
what's it?
I look nearby for the nearest just roof cover, just a roof. That's all I need. Keep the rain off of it.
Yeah, no, you can look around. This is the department, so you can see a good spot just where the doors will normally open to sit under the overhang. Shit. Before we do that, roll a little something for me, will you?
Sure.
Roll an endurance, maybe a stamina if you're up for it.
actually get a d4 on this.
Good.
A 6 plus my stamina is a endurance. It's a 4, 10.
10. All right. So, this is what happens. You feel for just a half a second incredible pain. Your body almost goes into shock for a moment as the battery fluid has started to enter your body. It's slow. It's a very slow process. But you're starting to get poisoned, and while you're talking to this girl, you're like, it's fine, and then it's like all of your nerves just explode for a moment.
Don't worry, lass. I'll be perfectly.
Okay.
St. Aaron's Isle.
Okay, come with me. I drag him into the nearest covered space to get him out of the rain, and I just push him down to seated position. Or at least that's what I'm going to try to do.
I mean, that's up to Shinda.
Is what's the crowd situation like? Are people gathering? Are people beginning to look? Gawk?
No, this is currently like middle of the night. Like not like 1 a.m, but like midnight. Like this was like a premiere event, primetime event down at the Inventors exhibit, and you're doing some late night work. This was like the beginning of 2nd/3rd shift.
Okay. As long as it's not too busy, then perhaps I'd be willing to stick around. But the second I start seeing any semblance of a crowd being built, I'm going to try to grit my teeth and get the fuck out of there.
That's fair.
But I would allow myself to be pushed down for now.
I push him down and I say, all right, this is gonna hurt.
Just do what you got to.
I take a little like drain pipe thing and I push it into the channel of the pipe where it's going into his bloodstream, and then I take a little pump and I siphon it out. And
you know what you're doing.
I told you it was gonna hurt. And then I take a small piece of metal and I just like shove it into the spot to block the flow of battery acid into his body.
Okay.
Just
Did I start
very
to lose
quick
power
fix.
to my arm or anything?
What was that?
Did I start losing power to my arm or anything?
No, it seems to still be powered. You actually hear in your head, what is going on? You fucking what have you done to me? And then just
I don't want to hear a fucking word out of you. I'm
Look
going
at
to
him.
say out loud.
Trying to save your life here.
Not you. It's a long story.
I look around.
Can you get kind of mobility back in my arm?
No, not yet. But
Okay.
I need you to roll another stamina check. This one's going to be hard.
Sure. Really not have anything for stamina. Sorry guys, I'm just making sure some stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. We're actually very close to done, so it's all good.
Ooh. Stamina, at least it's an endurance thing, so that's an 8.
All right. So this is what happens. Max, did you roll to fix his arm?
Nope.
Roll
She just
something.
narratived.
Roll
I just
anything.
did it.
Yeah.
She just
How
fixed
about,
it, as a role player does.
How about either? I will argue tech use.
Yeah, tech use, logic, throw it on in there.
Okay.
Mechanical engineering, you can add that. Too, if you
I'm
want.
just going to put this out there just in case this is kind of where things start to go. If I start passing out, I'm going to tell Max, get me to Clarissa's Cavern Tavern and find bison.
Just staring at him. Ooh, that's really good. 7, 14 plus 8 is 22.
Damn. All right. You demolished this quick patch. no more of the acid filled in. His blood, you cut off the flow of blood into the arm. It's going to be processed out so that it can be, filtered and put back in. Whatever else is you need to be done to fix this whole thing before without putting him in danger. And that's great. That's wonderful. You saved his fucking life. Unfortunately, a little bit seeped in, and you already felt the pains of that once. And while this isn't going to kill you, this is gonna hurt. And your body starts to tingle everywhere. It's almost like you're going like numb, like that tingly feeling when your foot wakes up, except it's everywhere. And then it starts to explode. It's like you're being stabbed from all over as your nerves it just radiate in every direction this painful heat, and you're gonna pass out with a 6.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to. I think when it's like at least like that tingly, warm feeling, and things are going numb, I think Shin's going to actually kind of enjoy that for a moment. As he kind of goes into that kind of out of body kind of experience. He's going to kind of be like, eyes roll back and. But I would have said what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that happens, Max.
If anything happens.
Yeah.
You actually, the moment he passes out, his phone starts to ring. And do you have like a lock screen on there that does anything?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be like, I don't know, what would be a standard kind of, what would be a standard security system, like thumbprint or facial recognition?
Do.
I'd just take his thumb and put it on the thing.
Go for it.
I'm going to not resist.
It unlocks and you open up his phone. He's getting a call from Bison.
Hello?
Okay, I saw everything. And you see a little eye float down. Please bring over real quick. We can take care of everything. I was looking around the block. There are cops coming fast. You need to get out of there right away.
Okay, I have your friend, and I'm gonna take him to Clarice's Cavern.
Yes, perfect. Run. It's on the east side, beneath the overpass. You keep running, and then you take a hard left once you hit the stripper joint. It's not actually a stripper joint, it's just the bar called the stripper joint. Don't go in there, the food's bad. Just keep running until you hit a wall. It's gonna look like there's nothing there. There's actually a door behind a bunch of ugly rocks. You just have to look around. That's Clarissa's Cavern. Run.
Is this a child? Never mind, doesn't matter. I hang up and I sling him over my shoulder, I guess.
Oh, I definitely weigh a lot, though.
I am not very strong, so I don't know how this is gonna work. Ooh.
Crew cannon
okay. No, listen, I've got a thing. My shark repellent perk. I am always perfectly prepared for a situation. So what I'm gonna do is pull out a pair of roller skates.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna stick them on your feet, and then all I have to do is support you over my shoulders, like most of your body, and then you're gonna just roll with me.
How tall is Max?
Average height for a human female, 5'6".
Shin's got it. Shin's definitely like not 7 feet, but 6'5", 6'6".
Okay.
Right. He's tall.
So yeah, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a isosceles triangle, but
yeah.
I just gotta get you on wheels, man. That's all I need. So that's what I'm gonna try to do.
So yeah, you make your way, and down to the cavern. You see cops.
Oh, luckily, I should also say I put a spare raincoat over him so that he's not like exposed in his
shark repellent.
Yep. Lovely. Yes. That happens. You're prepared. Everything goes great. The cops, they flash by. It's dark. It's raining. You're just making your way through. You are unnoticed. You make your way to the tavern, and it's the kind of place where you're like, how does this place get any business? I had to go around 3 rock corners. That doesn't make any sense. It seems like I would come out the other side to find the door. And but you find it, you get inside, and everyone is here is pretty cheery. They're having a good time, they're that kind of thing. And they see you lugging around this guy. And 2 of the prettiest women you've ever seen in your life just kind of run up. It's like, oh dear. It's like, oh no. And they start jumping to action. They take him over to the bar, flop him on top. The pink bubblegum woman just one-hands him and chucks him onto the bar table. And they start doing.
I don't want to mess with her. This is the same one who put a knife in stone.
Janice, man.
She one-arms you onto the counter.
Don't mess.
She put all her
She's
stats into
strong,
one
man.
thing.
Yeah.
It was looks and punch. But
I'm gonna like keep a safe distance, but also watch, like just observe his arm the whole time, and maybe that eyeball thing that's kind
it's
of going
like
around
my
too.
like the entire half of my body actually.
Yeah, so is there like whatever stripping him down, taking his clothes off? My eyes are just like glazed over, just taking all of that beautiful metal in.
yeah, the everything is exposed. You see what's going on. They take off his pants, but luckily he just wears snap-on pants. So just his sweater was ripped in half already. They just kind of pulled the other half off. And the sunnier of the 2 ladies, the one who's not a pink bubblegum princess, but just like a ray of sunshine in a cloudy day, she puts a tiny little bar towel over his pee-pee.
Ollie, I know I'm unconscious and everything, and I don't know if this is totally allowed. But if the officer is there, the police officer from earlier, I'm down to say that Shin pees himself, and as it trails down the bar, it just kind of slides over and lands right on his shoe.
Oh my god! You son of a
I will
bitch.
say that's exactly what happened, of course.
Yes.
And he looks over, just like, and he storms out into the lane. He's like, "Fuck this! Fuck this place!
Oh
Fuck
my
everything!"
God. That's good.
You have made the most hated enemy of this man by being on
I
him
didn't even get
2
his
nights
name.
in a row.
I didn't even get his name.
He had a bad check.
It's on the ticket, baby.
But yes, as you're watching all this, and none of the patrons seem like perturbed. They're like, oh, okay. Some of them are, while the women are, preoccupied, sneaking a little something from behind the counter, when the sunny one just kind of throws a little dagger at him, like, please leave that there. It doesn't hit him; it just lands next to him. Like, okay. It's a very surly but fun place.
Oh my
And this in front of you
Just like
is
shit.
in front of you is a tiny boy dressed to the nines. He has his short little tie, a full suit coat, and these khaki shorts, and sneakers that are basically dress shoes but sneaker formatted, and slicked back hair with 2 little cowlicks that come out into little horn looking things. And he comes up, it's like, thank you, that's all we needed. Thank you very much for your help. My name is Bison. He reaches out his tiny little hand. He has a little suitcase in his other hand.
I reach back and I say, is this your dad?
No, this man is, well, we just gotta call him Uncle Shin for now. And, actually his uncle, but whatever. And,
Well,
you can consider him a partner. We've recently started a little investigation business, and first gig, and he seems to have almost died. You patched him up. Do you know how to handle these things?
yeah, I'm pretty good with a box of tools. And that arm is nowhere near okay. You're gonna need a lot more fixing up than what I was able to do back there.
I think our girls here can handle it. And Janice, she calls over. It's like, no, we cannot. I don't know what I'm doing. Like a little black, like oil almost, like corrupted blood just spurts out.
I look at Bison and I say, well, boss, looks like they need some backup in there. How about you let me get in there?
Don't call him boss.
Okay. We can negotiate price, but this is an emergency. Let's get after it, and we'll figure out how to compensate you properly afterwards. And he holds out his hand, make a deal, and now we can go into just like flash forward, sort of montage to the present, chit chat between us as to what happens after this point.
Did like a newspaper clipping montage of all our successful cases.
Yeah, I
like
think
all of the time we're on the front page.
They like spin onto the screen.
Yeah, it's like
And
Sherlock
like,
Holmes, the first movie.
Yeah.
I think at this point, like you fix him, and he wakes up for like a brief moment. It's like, and say whatever you want to say to Bison. He's there, and he's like a little emotional. He's like, all right, are you okay? Are you okay?
Anyone get the name of the truck that hit me? Janice. Little hair of the dog. Little hair of the dog, if you don't mind.
They hand it to you, and you start drinking, and then you pass out and just fall asleep.
Perfect. My hero.
Academia, and
Hey, I understood that reference.
So
good job, Captain.
Bison comes back up to you, and at this point, they negotiate. He's like, "Hey, would you like to be our on retainer to maybe be our tech specialist, be our garage man, and maybe you're on retainer for a little while, and then they get a case that's like tech heavy." And Bison's a smart kid, but he doesn't really understand how to do some of this stuff, and they look to you and ask you to like join full time, and you accept, I'm assuming.
Yeah, No, I'll pass.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm gonna have to rewrite this whole story then.
And that's 0 session and the last
The
session.
No, I totally accept with enthusiasm, because this feels like a new direction that Max has been craving for a while. She's been kind of like, really
in family is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm digging the like family culture, just the band of misfits here, and I'm also just like really upset with how it went down with Rich Guy. And I totally deleted his app, and I don't use his app anymore because fuck him.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm into this, which is kind of fun. I also really like Bison. I feel like I clock Bison as a very intelligent kid who could possibly learn how to do some of the stuff I do. And so
during the time that we are like partners, or at least after the first week or so, after the first 3 days or so, Shin's gonna start coming up to you and being like, hey Max, I really appreciate all the work you did with the arm and everything. I was wondering if you could help me out with one more thing. You wouldn't happen to have about, I don't know, $1,700 laying around, would you?
My friend, I do not make a lot of money in my field, but nice try.
So yeah, time passes, and there's a montage. We see we see Shin go to court because he wasn't able to.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He spent some time
Fucking
in jail.
declares bankruptcy.
He gets like one of those wrist bracelets for a little while. He can't leave the like certain premises, and he's just doing like some of the grunt work, doing research in the office. You guys get an office. You're not just working out at the bar. Like that's still one of your major like people who get you jobs. They'll give you a call. They'll send people your way. You got your own office in like.
You get the little like etching on the glass that says Max and Shin. It's so official.
Shin Max.
Oh,
S&M.
Max Sheen.
S&M.
S&M
Detective Agency.
Most definitely, it's S&M.
On the back of that business card, it just does say Bison and Company Detective Agency. But on the front, it says Max Sheen. Second.
Max Sheen.
Bison S&M.
So, man, we see these little things. We see that you slowly are paying off that very muscular woman, and like you guys are actually starting to build a rapport, and like you still owe her a little bit of money, but she's like, you're good for it. Yeah.
Oh, the denim shirt woman.
Denim shirt woman.
Okay, what's her name?
All things.
Well, watch the recording later and find out.
I don't even know if I even gave her a name. Did I?
You didn't give her a name. No, you didn't give her a name.
All right.
I just threatened her and we had a day. We called it.
I've been just making up real normal last names, so let me go with something kind of weird in fantasy.
Karen Phillipson, perfect.
Karen Johnson.
K apostrophe Ren. Karen. Exactly. You guys are becoming kind of buddy. She's now kind of like an acquaintance of yours. You still owe her money on occasion, but like everything's chill.
I fixed the battery for her once.
Yeah.
Is she my dealer?
No, you're
dealer.
Oh, was it someone else?
Was it Ball Plart?
Ball Plart. I think your dealer is, and I wrote this down somewhere. I wrote it down. Beth Rogan is.
Yeah, that's right. It's Beth Rogan.
Yeah, you see some clips of like you hanging out with Beth Rogan. Like there's a clip of like you going to buy some drugs, and instead of like leaving, you just kind of hang out on her couch and like.
Oh, definitely.
Get a little high.
Yep.
There's a whole montage of like a weird side quest you go on with her. That's
What's the name of your bird? Because I think Shin really likes that bird.
Oh God, I still haven't named him.
That's So Raven Returns.
No, it's not. It's Minnie. Minnie.
Cute.
Definitely, Shin and Minnie are buds. Like Shin probably doesn't hang out with you guys too much, but he definitely hangs out with Minnie in his room a lot.
Minnie likes you, yeah.
Yeah, you're like twinsies.
Minnie kind of like, because when you have a rough night and you come back all dirty with garbage in your hair, Minnie like picks the garbage out of your hair and grooms you a little bit.
Perfect.
Adorable.
Just freaking cute as fuck.
Minnie and Max. Minnie Max.
You guys have this detective agency now. Shin and Bison kind of live there. It's like also their apartment that they live in, but it is better.
Was it the one in the shady apartment building?
No, you've stepped up. You're in the you're in the business department of the city now. Not the good business section, not like the corporate section, but the business section.
The shitty business section. Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
we're making our way.
Yeah, you're like on the third floor. You don't have to climb all those stairs anymore. There's even a working elevator, but you don't need it. It's third floor. You're fine.
I still take the elevator.
Still take the elevator.
You are living. This is the best your life has been in a long time.
Wow.
He's going to definitely be like, in that case, he's feeling like all right. He's still not great, but
you have a nicer tracksuit now. It's like made of that really like nice kind of spandex material instead of the shitty.
I'll say though, he hasn't bought new ones in a while, so the cuffs and the legs are definitely beat up,
right,
and like frayed. So,
And Max, she can obviously keep living in her apartment if she wants. There's also a room here for her whenever, like everyone has their own little space.
Yeah.
In this little office.
I kind of bought back and forth, but I spend most of my time in my workshop. So.
Perfect.
Bison's definitely up front, where if anybody were to walk through the door, they'd be dealing with him first.
I say I probably set up like a mini workshop at the office. So
you set up like a garage workshop, like a
yeah.
Well, we need to fix this man's arm again workshop.
If it's all if it's allowable in any way, I would like to have my office about 9 meters away from the main door, so I can be aware if anybody comes in.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Sounds fair. Bison, he turned what would have been like almost a living room into like a front office space. So it's basically 3 bedrooms and a front office and then a kitchen.
And a bathroom somewhere, I hope.
And a bathroom somewhere.
No toilets. We just pee on people's shoes.
Go back to that. Go back to
we just use the
every
cop's
night.
shoe.
We're gonna open a bar and call it the Cop's Shoe.
But yeah,
You know,
that's
peel
all I've got. I think this
That's
is
all,
the end.
huh?
That's all, folks. I think that's the end of session 0.2.
Hey!
But that's how we
Electric
met.
Boogaloo.
You
Did
saved
we ever-
a warehouse from a bomb, and I failed an invention competition.
Yeah, but you also found out that
They're
a man who
intense.
set you on your life is a horrible person, probably.
Yes.
You don't know
More
what he
than
lied
anything.
about, but you
Curse
know he lied
him.
to you.
More than anything, though, we found out that Ken and Judith are having an affair at work.
They're not even affair, they're in a relationship, but they're
Who
at
said it was
work.
an affair?
That's fair.
No one's married. They're young 20-somethings, and one of them is like slightly the supervisor. He's like, well, I'm the supervisor. You can just kind of hang out.
And doesn't have a car, too. Oh, now he's just using his position of power. This dude's a scumbag. Yeah, I'm glad I built his car.
Okay. Fucking
All right,
Ken.
that's we're gonna call it there.
I
Thanks,
am the
everyone,
hero.
Thanks everyone
is
for
what we
listening.
do.
This has been a whole lot of fun. Hope everyone had fun listening to our almost heroes. They're getting there. Shin's getting there. Admittedly, he was more of a terrorist than a hero, but he did save people's lives.
Somewhere in between, I think.
Somewhere
Somewhere
in
in the
between.
middle.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't want to be an anti-hero. What have I done?
What have you done? This is Spawn's fault. This is what's his face's fault. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. Point is, that's the end of this episode. This is going to be a longer one than most, hopefully. And I hope to see you back next time. Again, you can find us at Delta Cryptid on Twitter. You can also find us. You can look up Delta Cryptid Productions on YouTube. You can look up something else in the future that we haven't made yet, but they're coming. Things
Eventually,
are coming.
Delta Cryptid on Pornhub. You'll find us there.
Subscribe.
Subscribe for sure. We have other
Like,
shows
subscribe.
as well. We can you can look up Heroes of Hysteria, run by this man. A classic D&D 5e adventure in a more custom world full of honestly some shitty fairies and shit. They're
Yeah.
horrible fairies of
Oh
evilness.
my God,
and, well, not
things,
evil, really.
yeah.
But it's full of shenanigans and treachery at every turn. It's wonderful. See you next time. Bye.
See ya. Bye, guys.
Bye.